a badass computer, so that way I can keep up and, I can literally compete with the larger news companies and radio stations with my equipment. So, and we've applied for a FM license, WWTR. That'll be down here in Florida. I don't know the frequency yet, but we are just waiting for our application to get approved, and then we will be a FM station, which we already are all over the internet through GERN, Global Enlightenment Radio Network, where if you just come and listen to us, you will be enlightened. And there are shows 24/7, 365. The Friday News is brought to you by Colloidal Silver, and is brought to you by Paladin Security Consultants, and it is brought to you by WWTR and GERN. So everybody's in here. We got some sponsors, so that helps. But we are a nonprofit organization, and that's kind of not on purpose, but that's just the way it works out sometimes. We've been around a long time. I did blue collar politics for 6 years now, and that is back on schedule every Tuesday night. And Sci-Fi Talk is tomorrow night from 7 to 11. And there are a lot of other good shows on the network ready to go for your listening pleasure. The Martian Revolution is on right after me on Saturday night on GERN, and that's always an interesting evening. So if you're stuck at home or you just don't like going out, then why don't you come on and listen to us? We're always live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live, everywhere there's live. Okay, let's hit this one. Okay, maybe it won't play. Of course, it would probably help if I were.
Are you sick of our healthcare system? The lies, constantly putting you on one more drug that isn't covered by your health insurance company? I'm sick of it too. And I found a very old recipe for colloidal silver. It is a liquid solution created using electrolysis to suspend pure metallic elemental silver in groups of particles of 18 atoms or fewer, each with a positive electric charge, attached to a simple protein molecule in distilled water. Some say that the colloidal silver goes back 4,000 years. I found the process that was almost been lost to time. Colloidal silver works just like triple antibiotic ointment. It will keep your cuts clean, and it's an antiviral too. This product could save your life when there's no doctor around, and you can put colloidal silver directly on the wound to keep the infection away. Get yours now at bluecollarpolitics.org. Just click on the BCP store tab and you are on your way to having that doctor in a bottle. Blue Collar Politics is brought to you by CK Custom Security Consultants and Paladin Security Consultants. Offers you an unparalleled after-the-sale service where you become a client, not just a sale. We offer DVR multi-camera systems, access point sales and service, NVR multi-location systems up to 320 cameras, biometric safeguards, wireless cameras, computer networks, mobile cameras for car, truck, camper, or semi-truck, POS, point of sale, cash register systems, video compiling, loss prevention. We are experienced with the court procedure, asset protection, hardened access point installs, door or upgrade. We offer expert security security analytics free with purchase. We also offer free digital forensic service all the way to the courtroom. We never leave our clients to fend for themselves. We work with the police department and the prosecutor to ensure your interests are looked after. At CK Custom and Paladin Security Consultants, we can work with your contractor to install your security DVR system during a remodel or new construction in order to hide the wire, providing the perfect professional install.
All right, we are back to the news, and we have a thing with the agricultural news. Well, let's go over here first. Okay, it says, come home now or be ready to remain where you are. U.S. diplomat Alice Wells to Americans. In other words, get your butt home. Let's deal with this COVID-19 and get all Americans. We got to clean up our own country first before we can help anybody else. You know, there's an old adage, you can't love anybody else till you love yourself. So we have to fix ourselves, then we can go help other people. So if you're an American, get back to America, get back home, get with your family, hang out, enjoy this time. It won't ever happen again. And we got to get everyone clean, because I do not like the fact that when I came back from Washington this last week, that I was stopped at the northern Florida border, and I was asked if I was a resident, and if I was not, I would have been turned around and told to go home. Now, to me, that's Gestapo stuff. I don't like that. America is free, and we're not even going to be free to celebrate our 2020 birthday as it looks right now. So, not cool. Let's get everybody home, get everybody well, so we can get on with our lives. Kayleigh McEnany will replace Stephanie Grisham as White House press secretary. Stephanie Grisham is out as White House press secretary and will be replaced by Kayleigh McEnany. Also joining the press staff is Alyssa Farrell. Let's check this out. I hate when it jumps like that. You're trying to watch something, and we'll see what it has to say. And I guess it's not going to play, so we'll stop it. All right. Grisham, who replaced Sarah Huckabee Sanders last June, will return to the East Wing as First Lady Melania Trump's chief of staff without having ever held a press briefing, White House announced Tuesday. I'm excited to welcome Stephanie back to the team in this new role. A statement from the First Lady read, "She has been a mainstay and a true leader in the administration from even before day one, and I know she will excel as our chief of staff." McEnany, a spokeswoman for the Trump campaign, will take her place. As the New York Times reported, a longtime associate tells the Post that there had been speculation for weeks that Grisham was on her way out as press secretary role. Adding to the speculation, the First Lady reportedly spoke to Grisham on a near-daily basis after she originally left her previous role. Grisham and Trump previously worked together while she served as the First Lady Communications Director before becoming the press secretary. Newly installed White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows is behind the shakeup, according to sources. A longtime Trump associate tells the Post that Meadows wants to revamp the White House press office and allowing it to play a much bigger role with the media. It's a 40-person team. They said at the press office, that's a lot of people. You think Trump could get at least some good press. Meadows also clashed with Grissom since coming into his new role and targeting her as someone he wanted to replace, according to the Times. One source tells the Post that the White House Deputy Press Secretary Hogan Gridley had been dying for the job. They add that there were tensions between Gridley and Grissom during her tenure. Also joining the press staff is Alyssa Farah, who was also seen as a possible press secretary. Farah is a former spokeswoman for Vice President Mike Pence and now works at the Pentagon. She forged a close relationship with Meadows when she was communications director of the White House Freedom Caucus, which he formerly led. Grissom said in a statement that her successor will be announced in the coming days, and that I will stay in the West Wing to help with the smooth transition for as long as needed. McKinney, a cable news staple, in her impassioned defense of President Trump, could not immediately be reached by the Post for comment. All right. Idaho governor signs bill restricting transgender athletes' birth certificate changes. About time someone's doing something about that. New York City first responder described devastating coronavirus cases as cardiac arrest called surge. Okay. All right. New York City's first responders described devastating coronavirus cases as cardiac arrest called surge. Every cardiac arrest I go to, I leave very emotional, and it's all serious. Oh, you stupid thing, I'm not. Okay, we're going to have to fix a few things while I am getting set and working in the kinks out of the new show. Video of police following black men wearing masks raises concern over racial profiling. The race for a coronavirus vaccine, researchers are working frantically on a shot that would immunize people against COVID-19. And, why does it take so long? Well, the FTC's involved, so anything the government's involved in, it takes forever. And this I want to read. Is the vaccine close? Despite the global competition to develop a coronavirus vaccine, experts agree that one won't be available for at least 12 to 18 months. The race kicked off January 10th when the Chinese scientists published a complete 30,000-letter genetic code of SARS-CoV-2, the novel coronavirus that caused COVID-19. This allowed scientists to make synthetic versions of the virus rather than waiting for sample shipments. Roughly 80 pharma giants, small labs, government entities began chasing a cure. Moderna, a biotech startup in Cambridge, Massachusetts, produced a vaccine candidate that was injected into the arm of a 43-year-old Seattle mother in mid-March, smashing the world's record for the fastest human testing. Several other labs have since launched clinical trials. President Trump's pledge to slash red tape, slowing development, but scientists say it's not bureaucracy or pointless rules that make this request for a vaccine by summertime impossible. What's the holdup? Before injecting a vaccine into millions of people, science needs to conduct tests to prove that it actually protects against a specific pathogen and doesn't have serious side effects. Under normal circumstances, a vaccine can take a decade to get FDA approval. Coronavirus research is racing along thanks largely to the Coalition for the Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, CPI, a Norway-based organization founded in 2017 to help labs like Mardina plan for prototype pathogens. Yet, although scientists are desperate to save lives, cutting corners could have treacherous consequences. Boy, don't we know that one. Extremely ill patients can get unproven treatments under the compassionate use exception, but vaccines are administered to people before they get sick. A vaccine for the swine flu in 1976 gave hundreds of people a rare nerve disorder, and a vaccine for the H1N1 bird flu in 2009 caused some Europeans to develop narcolepsy. Some failed vaccines would have made recipients more vulnerable to the disease. A candidate for the vaccine for SARS was abandoned after it made mice more likely to die. Yeah, if you take a vaccine and then it makes you dead, yeah, that's not better than not having one at all, because your chances of living with nothing is 80%. So if, the opposite is for, then it would be hard to say. All right. So we'll be right back after the rest of this message.
We are here to make your business more secure. CKC Security Consultants and Paladin Security Consultants are ready to help enhance your security, engineer, installation, and maintenance, and investigation. Browse our site and then give us a call for a free on-site consult at 352-321-9519. We serve the Central Florida area, but we do have the capability to travel to put a system in anywhere in the state of Florida. You can go to ckcustom.com and find out everything about the camera systems we offer, and if you have any questions, we have multiple pages that explain each one of the features that we list for sale. We want to make sure you understand what you are getting when you get it, and that you will know you are protected after you purchase a system from Paladin Security Consultants.
And is brought to you by...
Are you sick of our healthcare system? The lies, constantly putting you on one more drug that isn't covered by your health insurance company? I'm sick of it too. And I found a very old recipe for colloidal silver. It is a liquid solution created using electrolysis to suspend pure metallic elemental silver in groups of particles of 18 atoms or fewer, each with a positive electric charge, attached to a simple protein molecule in distilled water. Some say that the colloidal silver goes back 4,000 years. I found the process that was almost been lost to time. Colloidal silver works just like triple antibiotic ointment. It will keep your cuts clean, and it's an antiviral too. This product could save your life when there's no doctor around, and you can put colloidal silver directly on the wound to keep the infection away. Get yours now at bootcollarpolitics.org. Just click on the BCP store tab and you are on your way to having that doctor in a bottle.
Okay, we are back, and we are down at how long will testing take? Clinical trials usually occur in 3 phases. First, about 50 healthy human volunteers are paid $1,100 each to be injected with the candidate vaccine, and then monitored to see if they produce antibodies without unintended side effects. If that's successful, a few hundred people get the vaccine, and their immune response and side effects are carefully studied. In a phase 3, several thousand people are tested. Half get the vaccine, half get a placebo, and if vaccinated subjects don't get sick or get sick at much lower rates, a vaccine is ready for FDA approval. All this can take 8 to 12 months, and if and when a coronavirus is approved, other problems immediately arise. Who gets it first, and who pays for the vaccines if people are uninsured? Manufacturing billions of vaccine doses will take months, and rich nations could hoard limited supplies. Vaccinating every American could cost $165 billion. Time estimates that. What are the top contenders? Some of the most promising vaccines built on proven science. Janssen, the Belgian pharmaceutical subsidiary of Johnson & Johnson, is developing a vaccine modeled on the success of the vaccine for Ebola. Innovia, the San Diego-based company, and Maryland-based Novavax are modeling vaccines on the candidates in advanced trials for MERS, a coronavirus disease similar to COVID-19. In China, 1,000 scientists are working on a vaccine and launching more than 200 clinical trials to test everything from anti-flu drugs to ancient Chinese herbal medicine. Moderna's mRNA approach is also being used by the German company CureVac. German government officials accuse Trump of trying to poach CureVac scientists and their intellectual property for the exclusive use of the U.S. Right on. About time we get tired of taking a back seat to everybody. I mean, you got this lady buying up all this face masks so people can't buy face masks to protect themselves or their neighbors, and then you got the government doing nothing about it. Crazy. So what's a realistic timeline? All right, now we've heard 8 to 12 months for trials, but they did not give us a timeline other than that. There are dozens of vaccines in the pipeline, but COVID-19 cases are expected to peak in the U.S. months before any of them are approved. Scientists raced to find vaccines for SARS in the early 2000s and MERS in 2012, only to shelve their work when those outbreaks were contained. Experts have grimmer expectations for the longevity of coronavirus, meaning a vaccine ready a year from now could still save many millions of lives. With a large number of people getting sick and dying, the race for a vaccine requires a painful amount of patience. I'm going to bed thinking we made some progress, Moderna President Stephen Hoge says, and waking up every morning feeling further and further behind. So we're working on it, and as far as treatments go, a treatment that lessens the impact of COVID-19 is expected to come before a vaccine, but doctors on the front lines warn against high hopes. We have no idea what works or does not at this point, says Andrew Kalil, an infectious disease physician at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. Whew, that's a mouthful, huh? Kalil is leading the U.S. clinical trials for one of the most promising treatments, an antiviral drug, remdesivir, which was developed for Ebola. In February, the American passenger on the Diamond Princess cruise ship who contracted the coronavirus after The ship docked in Japan, became Kali's first volunteer. Other antivirals being researched are already in use for HIV and malaria. Other tests focus on drugs for lung inflammation and antibody-based treatments, including using antibody-rich blood serum taken from coronavirus survivors. A survivor can spare enough serum for 1 to 10 people. A Johns Hopkins University team got FDA approval in mid-March to test this approach. This is real. Team leader Arturo Casadevall says, in 8 weeks we may have something that's useful. Man, 8 weeks, wouldn't that be great? How many lives would that save then to get a treatment? At least if you get it, you can get a treatment for it. And, if you can get sick, you can at least get better. I mean, I like that, don't you? We'll be right back after these messages.
At Benzer Pharmacy, we understand busy. That's why all our locations offer free home delivery, personalized service, refill reminders, and specialty medication, even pet meds.
All right. If you live here in Florida or in the 8 other locations around where Benzer Pharmacy is, I like them. They're my pharmacy. And they do all kinds of cool stuff and deliver, and that's rare. All right. Now we're going to go on to a little pet peeve of mine. I'm kind of pissed off at the racism that still goes on in this country. Magic Johnson compares HIV and coronavirus pandemic misconceptions and impact on black community. Just because you're black does not mean you will get it faster. Now, since there is a higher percentage of black people that live in the cities, in urban environments, and have less access to health care, yeah, it may seem that way, but you put anybody in that position or you take them out of that position and put them in a different one, it'll be completely different results. We all bleed red. We are all Americans, not Americans. Okay, that's my new favorite word, American. Well, it's always been my favorite word because I am American. I ain't no damn American. And there's a lot of I can't do this, it's too hard. Oh, poor baby. Deal with it. They're also introducing Maloney, New York City, to introduce bill eliminating student debt for frontline healthcare workers. The Student Debt Forgiveness for Frontline Healthcare Workers Act will eliminate graduate school debt for healthcare workers who are providing direct patient care in response to the COVID-19. Boy, I would like that. I've got some big school debt, but don't we all that go to after? It's expensive to go to school and to learn anything anymore. And this is going to be something where mainly it'll be in where it's in the big areas like Los Angeles, New York. But New York's, you can see their mass grave from space. It's a cool picture. I will put it up on my Facebook page. I mean, it's not cool that it's dead people, but it's not cool at all. I don't even know I'm describing it wrong. It is frustrating that so many people have to die for, this to come around. And, I don't feel bad for the pharmaceutical companies because when they get done making a pill that costs them $1 to make and they sell it for $2,500 a pill, that's just, it's highway robbery. So the only time you get better is if you're rich. Well, that ain't fair. And this couple $1 trillion relief thing, it helps businesses, yes, which will help workers, but it only helps the middle class, and there's barely any middle class left in this country because they were destroyed by Obama. So we'll wait and see. You may not like Trump, but he's handling this pretty well. He's getting stuff done. I like that. And, with this trade act that everybody said, oh, it's going to drag us into another world war, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. And it didn't. But now we got American companies looking for somewhere else because they can't buy stuff at, 5 cents on the dollar anymore from China. So anyway, this is Thomas Friday News, and bring you news from around the world and COVID-19, and I want to know what you think so far. So hit me up on the chat, on the Facebook, on a wherever you can find me at, and we have YouTube and Facebook things, and shoot a question at me or just like and subscribe, so that way anytime we go live you can okay, no, it's not going live there, so there's something wrong with my stream. Crap. I'm not going live the one place I want to go live. Alright, so what we're going to do, we got to fix some stuff. We just wanted to do a sample run of the news today to see what it was going to like and how everything was working. But I know my producer's listening. I have to reset my OBS to get this going, so I'm gonna call it a day on this so far. I just wanted to give it a quick test, see how everything's are going. Normally we're gonna run, half hour, whatever the news of the day takes us, and however long it will be. But I gotta fix this because it is not coming over the way I want it to. So, don't forget, we got Sci-Fi Talk tomorrow from 7 to 11, where we will have, where's his name? Mark J. Cox is the guest. He'll be coming on about 8 o'clock, and he is retired gentleman, and he doesn't really have a bibliography that I could read to you, but he sounds like he'll be an interesting character. So he'll be on Sci-Fi Talk tomorrow night from 7 to 11. This is Thomas Fry. Oh, wait a minute. I am Thomas Fry. This is Friday News. And I hope you enjoyed the show so far, and hit me up, hit a like, hit a subscribe, and tell us what you think. All right? Thank you.